Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are returning to the magazine review video. Last week we were on, or a couple weeks ago as a matter of fact, we were on September of 1989. And we are moving on to October of 89 with the Bushwackers on the front cover. So, Bushwackers, Luke and Butch. And let's see what we got here. In this issue, win lunch with your favorite wrestler and Garvin reinstated. Let's see anything interesting on this issue. Bushwhackers, Butch and Luke talk strategy and sardines. Demolition, dethroned, Heenan's Busters, bag the belt. Ultimate Warrior, mind and body of a champion. Dusty Rhodes battling to put Big Boss Man behind bars, and Tio Santana, Mattel prepares to lash out. Cool. What does this say? Number 1, the world's best-selling wrestling magazine. Well, yeah, I would assume so. I mean, there's only very few wrestling magazines, and I do think that, WWF the Magazine probably was the superior magazine during that era. But get this out of here, and wow, this is a thicker magazine, so this should be a pretty fun one to go through. October 89, so yeah, I have no idea what's happening in 89 October time frame, so this will be pretty fun to see what's happening. Like I said, most of my memories pretty much don't kick in until really the 1990s, so I'm pretty eager to see the events that are occurring during this time period. Alright, now available on video cassette, SummerSlam. So this was a huge matchup with, Brutus Beefcake and Hulk Hogan tagging against Zeus and Macho Man. And I actually moved my 89 Latuni Macho Man figure. A lot of my Latuni figures I actually ended up putting in the storage room. So now that I've cleared out that storage shelf, a lot of the grapplers and gimmicks figures I've got in the storage, or in the actual garage now that I've hung up pegboards. So I'm going to start using that old area that I had the grapplers and gimmicks MOCs for all of my carded and loose Latuni figures. So, and I don't think it's going to stay there forever. I just think that's going to be temporary. I think eventually a lot of those black cards, the Jack Specific Classic Superstars, I'm going to probably move those into the garage and probably use that for Latuni and have Big Rubber Guys there so that they're together. Don't want to read the table of contents. Nah. Oh, if you guys haven't done so already, Mattel has released a new line of LJN style WWE superstars. Now, they might have actually be sold out already. And probably, I think they probably went up on pre-order Friday morning around 10 a.m. or so. And you got Dusty Rhodes, you got John Cena, and you got Logan Paul. John Cena and Dusty Rhodes, they probably would have sold out immediately. The Logan Paul figure probably might still be available. But if you guys go on Target.com, if you haven't done so already, check to see if those WWE LJN figures are still available. But like I said, probably a 99.9% chance that they're sold out already. I mean, if I was a smart man, I would have bought up a ton of them, but I didn't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that type of person that buys up a ton of them, and you know what? Other folks don't have the ability to buy their own, But what do I say? I'm not going to scalp interested personnel, right? If people reach out to me and, hey, man, do you have an extra one? Yeah. What do you want for it? I paid this much money for it. Pay what I paid. It's yours. Sometimes I'll buy an extra one just so that if any interested buyer that watches my channel reaches out to me, I'll have something for them. But, I mean, at $25, it's not like they were crazy expensive. But I mean, at three figures, you want to kind of conserve your money. You don't want to buy too many. So, do I want to read Around the Ring? Nah. Collect Superstars of Wrestling Cards series. I've talked about these before. I went on eBay and I was thinking that these darn cards were going to be like crazy expensive. But I thought they were like legitimate trading cards, you know, with actual biographies and, you know, stats on the back. But they're not. It's literally just the ice cream box, right? And on the flip side, it's just like the insert of the box. It's just like a white backing. So I was thinking that these cards are going to be like $50, $100 per card. And you get them. They're like little perforation on the side. They're like $25 to $30 per card. Which I'm like, okay, not bad. For actual trading cards, no. Not bad at all. But for just cardboard, $25, I'm like, no, forget that. Definitely not worth it. A couple bucks a piece, maybe. You know, if you get like the entire collection, maybe $30. Maybe if they threw in like an original clean ice cream box for like $30. Maybe for a collector, that'd be fine. But $20, $30 per, I'm like, hell, heck no. A sound investment. Any 8 CDs or 12 cassettes for $1. My teen years and in early adulthood, you know, let's say between like 16 to 18, I miss Columbia House. That was like the big thing for me. The first, and I'm kind of a little cheat sheet, and I think a lot of us were. Columbia House, you know, you put up a little fake name, and it's like, hey, you buy, you know, 12 DVDs and you get them for like $1 or something. And after that, it's like, you know, you got to buy, you know, X amount of DVDs to fulfill your obligation. But you use a fake name, you get 12 free, you score like 12 free DVDs or, you know, 12 free CDs or whatever. But after a while, like once I got my job and stuff, I'm like, nah, I want to start building my DVD collection, right? And I ended up, you know, sticking with Columbia House and ended up buying a ton of movies. And that's how they get you. You know, you get, let's say in this case, VHSs, you know, back in the 80s, you know, or cassettes. Later on, it was CDs and it was DVDs. And, yeah, it's like 1 cent per DVD, for example, later on in the late 90s, early 2000s. But you go to like Best Buy and a DVD was like $20. But through Columbia House, their DVDs were like $35 a piece. So all of a sudden you got to buy like, what was it, like 10 movies, I think, at $35 a piece. Or let's say it's Christmas time and, you know, it's like 25% off or 50% off a movie, but you're still paying, let's say, $18 to $25, let's say, for a movie. But because it's not full price, it doesn't count towards your obligation of that 10 or 12 movies you had to buy to fulfill your obligation. So that sucked. And suddenly that 1 cent per movie didn't really help you out any. But then you go back again, you get like another 1 cent for, you know, the 12 movies. And so it really does balance out. But all in all, your best bet was pretty much just to go to like, you know, Best Buy and get your movies for like $15, $20 per. If it was like a name brand, new movie, new theatrical release that just came out, maybe you get it for like $20. But if it was like an older movie, you might get it for around $12, $15, etc. So, but I mean, I liked it because there were so many movies that you couldn't find at Best Buy or whatever. And later on, when I got into the Army and I was stationed at Fort Hood, you know, Suncoast was my big thing. And, you know, Suncoast was, to me, better than Blockbuster. especially in terms of like horror movies. I mean, I got so many massive horror movies from Suncoast. Or you go to the PX. Oh, look at this. They changed out the character for your back issues of the magazines. It was always Bret Hart, and they swapped it for several issues to Jimmy Hart. Now they got Jim Duggan on here. Fantastic. I'm over here blabbing about Suncoast and and Columbia House, and I'm ignoring the back issues. Jesse Ventura. You know, I used to love Jesse Ventura as commentator, but I'm starting to like lose, you know, my fandom for him, because, you know, his issues with Hulk Hogan, like he was on the movie Predator, and you know, the whole SAG Awards, right? And you know, they have, and I understand where they're coming from, right? You know, you're doing a movie and you've got medical benefits and you got time off and this, that, and the other. I got it. And being a wrestler back in like the 80s, you know, you're not guaranteed time off. You're not guaranteed, you know, medical benefits and dental benefits. You're not guaranteed a paycheck. It's like, hey, you work this match, maybe you get a couple $100. And you might be working 300 days a year, maybe more than that even. And it's not like today where you're making millions of dollars and you're doing podcasts and you're getting a bona fide paycheck and you're doing movies and you're getting record contracts and all that, right? You know, people are doing like literal music videos and stuff like that. And like I said, movies and music videos, podcasts, and it wasn't the same today as it was in the 80s. And so he wanted to go and have so he wanted to go and unionize the wrestlers. And you know, it makes sense. But you know, he also kind of sold Hulk Hogan out. And you know, I'm a Hulk Hogan fan. You know, I am a major Hulk Hogan fan. Now, some people will come back and they'll argue, you know what? Hulk Hogan sold his fellow wrestlers out. You know, Hulk Hogan went to Vince McMahon and brought up the fact that Jesse Ventura wanted to unionize and that he betrayed his fellow wrestler. No, man, I don't buy that. I mean, I just think that was an excuse that Jesse Ventura... That was just an excuse for Jesse Ventura hating on Hulk Hogan. But let's be honest. All that stuff that I just mentioned, all of that is because of actions taken because of Hulk Hogan. All of that stuff wouldn't be possible without Hogan. So, you know, Hogan was the guy that made music videos. You know, Real American Music Video. He went into movies. And even though he didn't have like these high budget movies, you don't see John Cena in movies. You don't see The Rock in movies, etc. So, no, man. All this hate, I think, is put on Hogan's shoulders because, and I think it may have started with that issue with Jesse Ventura. So, and it's not something I've just learned about. I mean, I've known about this for a long time, but now after the death of Hogan, I just kind of look at, you know, Jesse Ventura nowadays, and I think back about that, and just like, I think a lot of the hate on Hogan stems from, you know, really began in the 80s because of that. Just my 2 cents. Some folks might not agree. That's okay. My personal feelings. Not everyone has to agree. That's fine. The Bushwackers. I don't know. You guys think with the new WWF LJN style figures with Mattel's, can you guys please stay straight? Okay. I really got to get like an actual holder instead of just putting this on a darn chair. Do you guys think the Mattel figures are going to start releasing your 89 series that of figures that were never released? You know, your Brother Love, your Bad News Brown, your Bushwackers, your Barbarian, you know, your Demolition Smash, for example. And I think about that, and I was watching, you know, New Age Revolution, right? And just like the same way he kind of described it, I'm going to describe it the exact same way. Because Print Fury, you know, Kevin Pelkey, he designed these figures, because he got with Ram Treasures, because Net created them in rubber form, you already have those customs out there. So do you really need them to be remade? I look at the Series 2, I look at the Series 2 Steve Austin that's being put out with the arms wide up, straight up, and I'm like, wait a minute. Literally, that is the exact same figure that Random Treasures has already come out with, that Print Fury has already come out with. So why is Mattel creating something that literally already exists in the world? The only benefit to having Mattel come out with their figures is that you're gonna get it on bubble. You're gonna have it in bubble. You're gonna have it on card, and more than likely, it's gonna come with a poster the same way as the original LJNs. So, and for those who don't collect Random Treasure figures or don't collect customs, but they are LJN collectors, it's gonna be a bonus to not only have them carded with the poster. $25 figures as opposed to $130 figures for Man Treasures, so that's a huge difference. Now, as of the filming of this video, it's, you know, Saturday afternoon. Of course, this video is going to be posted, this magazine review is going to be posted on Sunday, but later on this evening for me, Saturday live stream, I'm going to be talking about just that. How is it going to affect companies like Big Rubber Guys, like Latuni, that has their licensing agreement with their $50 figures? How is it going to affect customizers like Random Treasures with when their figures are selling for $130+? How is it going to affect a company like myself when I want to design my own name brand figures? It's not going to be wrestlers, it's going to be YouTubers, it's going to be my own sort of business, right? But I'm gonna want to sell them in the $50, maybe even $100 price range, because I'm going to be coming out of pocket. I'm not doing pre-orders, which means that it's going to be 100% self-paid. And in order to try and recoup those funds, I'm going to have to probably charge twice as much in the beginning for the first figure, and maybe drop it down to the $50 for the second figure, if the first one sell out, if I'm lucky. But the goal is $50 for my LJNs, and they're gonna be carded and, you know, blister packs, poster, the works. So, all right, I might have to just do it like this, because no, that's not gonna work, because this is not staying up for me. Yeah, that as a buyer, I love the fact that Mattel is only charging you $25 for those. Now, do they stay $25 full term? I don't know. But as a buyer, I love the price tag. As a seller, oh man, that's gonna hurt, because why are people going to be interested in buying from me for $50, especially for $100, when they can go get legitimate wrestlers, right? So, we'll see what happens, though. I'm not totally turned off by the idea of creating my own line, but on the live show, it is something we're going to talk about. Look at the War, man. We got to get as many Ultimate Warrior figures as possible, because he always has these different looks, and they're always super amazing. Every single look that the Ultimate Warrior has ever come out with, we got to get them all. Like I said, Ric Flair, Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior, they're like the only guys that have like 10 million looks. Even Rick Rude has a ton of different looks, and I don't mind getting a bunch of Rick Rude looks. Ted DiBiase, he's another one, has multiple different outfits that I don't mind getting a bunch of those. Well, that's an interesting belt. They got Jesse Ventura coming out on both retro style from Ringside Collectibles for a new Mattel Retro. And they also got him coming out in Series 2 on a new LJN, which is so stupid, guys. Come on now. You're coming out with Jesse Ventura, not wrestler Ventura. You're coming out with Jesse Ventura, ring announcer, or a commentator, Jesse Ventura, which is fine. Jesse Ventura in clothing. That part looked fantastic. I love that a lot. But they give him that same hand up with the arm to the side pose. I'm like, why are they doing that again? That pose is so horrendous. $25 or not, I don't care. That pose is crap. And remaking King Kong Bundy, remaking the exact same Ultimate Warrior. I'm like, you could have made up different poses, different figures, releasing the exact same ones. Plus, for those of us who actually have a black card Ultimate Warrior, now you're going to release them with Mattel. That's going to hurt resale and the actual value, I think. So, I like this tie-dye shirt. That's nice. You know, they could have forgot the whole polka dot, and they could have gone with something like this. I like that a whole lot better. Yeah, I would have gone with the little police hat, whatever that is, man, with the tie-dye shirt over the polka dot. I think the polka dot Dusty Rhodes has been done to death. This is a fun magazine. Garvin. Got Garvin, we got Snuka, we got Valentine. Uh-oh, get him. Oh, man. The Rise and Fall of Strike Force. Yeah. Strike Force. Who's making Strike Force? No Grapplers and Gimmicks are coming out with a new Strike Force set. Was that it? Powertown, I think, had a Strike Force coming out, I believe. I know Latuni, they're coming out with an awesome Tito Santana. Got the Fabulous ones. The Rougeau brothers. I call them the Fabulous ones. Yeah. Jacques Rougeau. I can never remember the other brother. I always remember just the Mountie only from this one. Yeah, pretty much trying to keep these videos to under 30 minutes, so I'm spent a lot of time talking at the beginning, so I'm trying to like go through this as quickly as I can now. But I mean, it's pretty much winding down. Not a whole lot, I don't think, right here towards the end to go through. Oh, I got a Perfect in Green reference. We might get a Lanny Poffo LJN from Mattel. That could be coming at some point. Why we're the real champions. Yeah, that's it, guys. That is the magazine. So this was a fun one. I mean, not a bad one at all. It was a thick magazine, and of course, any tag team set, any tag team magazine, if you're a collector, you're gonna end up paying up more. Most single magazines are basically paying about what, 15, 20 bucks. Tag teams, you're normally looking anywhere between 25 to 40 bucks. So look about 30 bucks for these. But guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't seen the live stream on Saturday night, please feel free to give that a watch. Hopefully that live stream went well. Again, as of the recording, that live stream hasn't taken place. It's not going to happen for several more hours, but it should be a good one. Again, thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.